Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Batman Legacy Arkham City, Robin, and Joker 2-pack from Mattel. With the release and the success of the Batman Arkham City video game, Mattel has been releasing figures based on the awesome designs of the video game in their Batman Legacy lineup. And continuing on is this 2-pack featuring the Boy Wonder and the arch-enemy of Batman. The two figures come in the Batman Legacy style blister card packaging that features the Batman Arkham City logo on the top, so that you know that the pack is straight out of the video game. The two figures are clearly seen through the window, and on the side there's some really cool photographs of the two Arkham City style figures. The back of that box gives us those same photographs in a little more detail, and gives us a little bit of information on the characters from the game. Alright, so let's take a look at the two figures one by one, and we'll start off with Robin. Robin is designed to look as he appeared in the video game, featuring the hooded cape. Now, the paint jobs on both of these figures is much darker than what we usually see on Mattel's DC Universe line, and that is no doubt to capture that dark tone that is seen in the video game. So the colors on Robin here are very muted and kind of grimy. He's got a dark red, kind of a maroonish type outfit on top, featuring black and silver on his leggings and arms. He's got a really cool kind of rusty gold look to his utility belt there, and the inside of his cape is yellow, but it is a very, very dull yellow, not the usual bright yellow that we see on comic book versions. Now, the hood and the cape are both made of a very soft, very pliable plastic, so they don't actually get in the way of any of the articulation. You can see that the head does still move side to side just fine, and the cape just kind of follows the flow. Now, one thing that is a tad disappointing is that the hood and the cape are not removable. The hood is glued to Robin's head. In fact, if you start to peel it back a little bit, you can see that there is actually no hair sculpted on his head. It's a bald figure with the hood glued on. I kind of wish that he would have actually had the sculpted hair underneath, so that if we wanted to, we could pull the hood down or pull the cape off entirely and actually see the Robin head with the hair attached. Now, aside from that movement in the head, Robin also features the ball pin type joints in the shoulders, so his arms can come up to his sides. They also do rotate. You do have a bicep cut joints, a standard elbow joint, regular wrist twists. He does twist at the waist, but note that there is no torso articulation. He's got the regular joints at the legs, allowing his legs to move forward and backward. Then he's also got those swivel joints, allowing the legs to come out side to side. He has twists at the thighs, standard knee joints, not the double knee joints, and ankle joints, but they do not include the rockers on the ankles. It just goes forward and backward. So the articulation's decent on this guy. You can still get some pretty good poses out of him. One thing I do have to kind of complain about, though, is that the joints specifically in the legs, mostly around the ankles, are very loose on my particular figure. Not too bad that it keeps him from standing up, but there are times where he'll kind of topple under because of the loose ankle joints. The weight just kind of knocks him over on himself. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump on over and take a look at Joker. Now, just like Robin, Joker is very dark in color, again to match the darker tone of the video game. So instead of the bright purples that we usually see Joker wearing, it's a much more gritty, kind of got a blackwash type tone going on here. Actually, the blackwash on his costume almost does kind of make it look like his outfit is pretty dirty. It works in a way that it kind of makes it that darker, grittier nature, but on the other hand, it does just look like he's got a bunch of dirt all over his costume. So I'm not entirely sure if I'm fond of this particular blackwash or not. Now, he does have really cool detail on the actual suit itself. You can see it's pinstriped all the way down. The only part I don't really like is on the left knee, you can see it looks like there's supposed to be what's a purple patch over the knee, but it's just painted. So it kind of almost looks like there's just a paint slop there over his knee, rather than there being an actual sculpted patch on with the costume there. It doesn't look too bad, but it is a little off-putting at first. Other than that, he does have some pretty cool details. There's a little plastic chain hanging down from his waist, and then he does have kind of the black bow tie and the black dead-looking flower on his chest there. The tails from his suit jacket hang down in the back are made of a very pliable, very soft plastic, so just like the cape on Robin, this does not at all hinder the articulation. Now, the face sculpt on this guy is awesome. Like, seriously, this is completely creepy looking. I love the look on his face. He's got that huge smile with those really crooked teeth, and he's got the nasty virus all over his face, just like he appeared in the video game. He's also got that black wash going on in his hair and his face paint here, but that works really well on the head, because it really gives him that sinister, dark, gritty look, and it just makes the overall sculpt of that face even creepier than it already is. So I definitely like the head sculpt on this one. Now, the articulation on Joker is very similar to Robin. He's got those same ball pin type joints in the shoulders. However, with the design of the sculpt of his suit, the articulation is hindered a bit. You can see that the arms don't actually come all the way up to his side. They kind of stop at a bit of an angle there. Otherwise, he does have cuts at the biceps. He's got the standard elbow joint. He has wrist articulation. Joker actually does feature the torso cut, unlike Robin. He's also got the waist twist. He's got those strange swivels at the top of the legs there, but they also move forward and backward as well as the side to side. You've got the thigh cut articulation, and then the standard knee joints, but below the knees there are no other articulation points. So the ankles do not swivel, there are no pin joints down there. From the knees down, his legs do not move. That does kind of hurt his potential stances a little bit. There's only a few ways you can actually get him to stand. So the articulation's not terrible, but because of the lack of articulation from the knees down, it does hinder a lot of the poses you can do with him. No doubt that's just to kind of maintain the sculpt of the suit pants, but again, it does kind of hurt his displayability a little bit. Now, one other thing I want to note about Joker is that something does seem a little bit off with him, at least in my eyes. He's real tall and skinny and lanky, which is fine because that's how he appeared in the game. But I'm thinking maybe it's the way the waist cut articulation is on him. It might be a little too high up because his pelvis seems really elongated, and he actually just looks a little strange because of that. Also, standing him side by side with Robin, you can see how tall and skinny he actually is, because he's almost a full head taller than Robin is. Now, I think my biggest complaint about this set is very similar to what my complaint was with the Batman Two-Face set, in that this contains no accessories whatsoever. It would have been nice to at least have given Robin a staff or even some batarangs or anything thrown in there other than just the two figures by themselves. They don't even get figure stands. They are just the two figures by themselves. And with this being a $35 to $40 set at retail, it would have been nice to get a little something more than just two figures by themselves. Other than that, I will say that I do actually like this set quite a bit. The articulation is decent on them, it could have been a little bit better, and the paint jobs, while a little dark in tone, a little sloppy looking with the black wash in some places, I do still like it, and I still get the feeling of these characters being pulled right out of the video game. I was a big fan of the Arkham City video game, so the more action figures I can get based on the designs of those characters, the happier I'll be. The Batman Legacy Arkham City Joker and Robin 2-pack is in stores now, so happy hunting, and until next time.